Hello everybody, my name is David, but you can call me Rev, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. In the previous episode, we made our way down here to Labyrinthos even deeper, and basically we called upon the aid of every region to help us get this arc up and running. We have so much at stake. This time, we're going to see what job we need to do. Though our friends are searching for refined adamantine and sacred relics, we will only know if they meet your requirements once they've arrived. In the meantime, is there aught else we might be able to do a service? Ha! We've already done more than enough. If I had to say though, I could use someone who knows a thing about Allegan technology. You there, the lad with the red eyes and matching hair, you seem to know more than your average scholar. Ha! If only Master Kakol knew how right he was. While he and Graham established a rapport, why don't we help with preparations for the Great Exodus? Indeed, we've been going above and beyond in terms of our arrangement, but I propose this not to curry favor. As confident as I am that we will succeed, we must be ready for every eventuality. This would also be an opportunity to familiarize ourselves with the logistics of traversing the Great Expanse. If nothing else, it beats twiddling our thumbs while we wait for the adamantine. Alright. Well, ain't you a bunch of helpful buggers. If you mind to lend a hand, I know out where you go. Charlie and Hamlet is lousy with researcher and scholarly types, busying themselves preparing for the Exodus. Ha! That lot needs all the help they can get. So you mean the place that I actually, got the aetherite last episode? Well, off then we go. Yep. Because I knew that we were going to go over there eventually. I knew ahead of time to go and to get that aetherite, so that way we could just TP over there once we were done here. But yeah, I think this is going to be probably another busy work episode. So we're going to be just doing side quests. I'll try my best to get a cutscene through though. So we'll kind of see what happens. Because obviously, like the quest tile says, no job is too small. From what I can tell, a lot of people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration Scholar Montechagne mentioned. I'll start by asking around, ideally without getting in anyone's way. Let's meet by the aetherite once our work's done, helping with the art. Even with all the power Master Cole's managed to squeeze out the ether burner, it's still not enough apparently. And now I hear the final days have arrived. Horrible creatures running rampant all over. Only we'd begun the Exodus sooner. People are dying, and there'll be no end to it if we don't fulfill our duties. But we will. We spent years preparing for this moment, even the plan and all as well. Offering to help. It's very kind, but I should be able to organize the rest of these documents by myself. It's mostly a list of things we'll need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so it'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear that our lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person, after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I have not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous looming giants. Why, I much prefer something small and fluffy, like a behathered rabbit that ran by. Oh, do I have news for you, my good, person? Oh, hello. Are you one of the new helpers? Working on the aether burner. Oh dear. I hear things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I'd choose that over my current duties, checking and loading samples day in and day out. It's tireless, thankless work. Still, no one will be cross if I misplace a few legumes or what have you. The forum's got enough on their plate as it is, with deciding who gets to board the Ark and when. Lots of powerful opinions, people have opinions on that. My heart goes to Master Fortuno and the others. Hardly get a moment's rest. Do you have time to sleep? So I guess, I was gonna say, I guess there's a Leprati here. Hey, Living Way, what you doing? Fancy meeting you here, Vendor. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny boat, which was quite impressive considering they didn't have any creation magics. What we're really interested in is theirs itself, and we now find ourselves in this sort of funny, underground, miniaturized version of it. We were hoping the forum would give us a guided tour, but it appears they're rather preoccupied. Honesty. All this time to prepare, and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around. Or at least, that's what we're planning to do until we chance upon Urianger and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about, idling and engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you can help show us a few point of interest. Wouldn't that be fun? Tour Labyrinthos. An unexpected yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and Bestway's burrow, it would be in our best interest to have the parties acquaint themselves with the conditions deemed optimal by their Charlian collaborators. I fear, however, that the continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspective. Mayhap thou are better suited to lead this venture. A marvelous idea. Why we begin with the great big what's it over yonder. Yes, the what's it. I shall leave explanation to Vinder. Goodness me, to build something so large without creation magics. It's positively stupendous. Perhaps you can direct our attention to its most important feature. Well, if I were to hazard a guess, water drawn from the underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? I knew it. Design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say it would take only a moment to install it in even the harshest of environments. For us Labrades, that is. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is of the utmost importance for any fledgling settlement. We have read, however, that the peoples of Aethera sometimes make their homes in arid deserts and stuff. Are they able to survive? Many settlements in Thanland are near oases. So wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to procure the necessary amount. We can provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear they rely on it far more than we anticipated. A few adjustments may be in order, once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtained their water in the first place. Master Alphonse spoke of machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logisticon Alpha, did he not? Mayhap the Labrades would share his appreciation for the engineering marvel. Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid. Must journey beyond the sanctuary of Charlian Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You mean we'll have to brave the untamed wilderness? Well concerned indeed. You cannot help but notice that many dangerous creatures with big, nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of the settlement. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dread to think what would have become of us. Regrettably, too many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big, nasty teeth, the prize may appear to be potential. A potential and rather appetizing source of subsistence. Might I impose upon thee to assist in securing safe passage to Logisticon Alpha? For my part, I shall act as escort to Living Way and Cooking Way. I entrust Singing Way and Growing Way to thy care. Man, I do not care about this section. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. Y'all couldn't have brought a fighting way with you? It's all the same to you. I'd rather not be eaten by some horrid beast. Come along, Growing Way. It's the water extraction, what's it? Marvelous. Simply marvelous. So this is where the magic, or science rather, takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life, artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essential when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently most of them don't even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that Aethera just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out the way they are because of the available resources out there? Either way, it's nothing short of miraculous, and I can't wait to see what more. This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provision facilities. In other words, where's the food? Alright, so I guess we're heading to... I got tired. We are heading to up there. I remember when sprinting, I remember when TP used to be a resource that you had to maintain throughout the game because back then, melee classes actually had their own resource that they actually used to juggle. And I believe they got rid of that in Shadowbringers, called TP. Which basically, you know, would be something more akin to stamina. Or, well, physical stamina, rather. And I find it very interesting that they decided to get rid of that, but one of the things that kind of sucked and was the trade-off is that sprinting would drain all your current TP. For, well, sprinting. It's the place, yes? The heady aromas was enough to guide me here, and I spotted several fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crops without permission are often caught and put into pies. Perhaps you can ask whoever's in charge if they're willing to part with a few samples. Alright, Cooking Way's coming along with me while we get them some food. Oh, what a fine mess this is. Ah, it's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the Exodus. And I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here up there. First on the moon, then on whichever star the form decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden, so unreal. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how carefully it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora and fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment. So many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We really wish to sample a little of your produce if we may. By all means, help yourselves. Doesn't look like there is, other, like, flavor text areas. Let's go make some, grapes. Oh, I know what these are. They're grapes, right? Oh, yeah, I forgot. I think, yeah, they smoothed out the grapes because back in base 6.0, actually, you could probably see it in the earlier episode. They were not this rounded. Let's see, they're delicious as they look. So sweet, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, and yet the texture is entirely different. The contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiar, though far from unpleasant. Yeah, can go try another. Well, that's certainly given me food for thought, though in a far less visceral manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of grapes? Yes, they are rather Moorish, aren't they? From what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall? Anyway, that's all about grapes for the time being. On to the next one. Yeah, that's, equal parts sweet and sour, as for the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Uriange about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find the words to describe it. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter. It's all very complicated, you know? So many flavors, so many choices. Each individual with their own personal preferences. Now I see why you turned your noses up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they are in my estimation, let no one say I said otherwise. Ah, but speaking of carrots, I've yet to sample any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in the field over there. I think everybody's like doing this section of the story right now. That color, that texture. Are they some sort of enormous round carrots? No, these are pumpkins, right? No, in any proper case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than the taste. Yeah, that's like, these are pumpkins, right? Or potatoes. I have no idea. Black. So hard and flavorless. I may as well be chewing a piece of wood. That all but confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures masquerading as goodly carrots. Stop. Can't you say these are pumpkins? Oh, okay. You know, with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. Do you not find it an awful bother? Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself. What's more, it broadens a range of ingredients that we may safely eat. Above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. Then perhaps even these hard blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder if there's anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder? Oh my goodness. Mangoes? What a wonderful fragrance. With luck, it'll have flavor to match. Because I have no idea how these are eaten. I'll just bite into it. My tongue. Is this poison? A lemon? Oh, these are I forgot lemons grew on trees. Oops. A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? How can something so similar to an orange be so revolting? Ugh. Maybe sometime before my palate recovers from this ordeal. As such, I bet best to end this call around a sampling. Let's say our farewells and return the others. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking. I'm rather enamored with grapes and oranges. Less so with the pumpkin, though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. And there was the lemon, the deceiver. I still feel so violated. Aha! First time, was it? I hate for you to leave with such a bad taste in your mouth, in more ways than one, but I'll give you this lemon muffin I bake. If this doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. More lemon? Have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spurn this opportunity to... Oof, bit of sick came up there. Learn more of your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin, do your worst. Little did they know. Lemon can be fantastic. This is delicious. Although I can still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. See, you rarely use lemon in its natural state, but it is a start role in all sorts of recipes, and the same is true for many other ingredients. It all comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal, and sometimes that can be even the difference between life and death. I know we won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the forum agonized over what was worth preserving and what will be co-signed to history. Hard choices, but make them we must if we're to survive. Such strength of will. Now I know what Highland sees in your kind. Mankind, Labyrinthos, we are both born from the accumulated knowledge of the ancients. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of sentient life and the fate of the stars themselves. Once a civilization has fulfilled the basic requirements for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and achieve perfection. And therein lies its folly and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal, just the paradox of the immaculate carrot. Yet civilizations since time immemorial have deemed the pursuit of perfection as progress. They pay no heed to the costs incurred in their futile quest, and all too often become architects of the art of their minds, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and to make the most of it. When life gives you lemons, you make lemon muffins. Pardon my Eorzean, but what in the 7 hex are you on about? And who are you anyway? Cooking Way at your service. I'm here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. Don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. Work together to preserve as many of the Theros species as possible, if you're up for the challenge. Yes, of course. I look forward to it. Well, this all has been highly productive. Probably. Let's go see if Urianger and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we? Alright. I'll meet you guys back when we're over by Cooking Way. Our song of hope dances on her way higher, oh higher, ere our frozen door. That was the most enlightening, especially the part with the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places famed for their cuisine? The Far East has oodles of noodles. With that, I had time to visit. The more I learned of Theris, the more I wish we could spare from the final days. Alas, Hyliden's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way. Binder, I trust thy time at the Marrow Agronomics did bear fruit. Our own efforts too were rewarded. We now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guests' relative pursuit of knowledge could occupy them and us for a fortnight. Alas, time's of the essence. Let us return to the Charlian hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every Laprati here. Should further questions within my power to answer arise. Aww. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, I think I might have to actually go ahead and end things off here. I don't want this episode becoming too much longer than it already is. So, thank you guys all so very much for watching today's episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. Next time, I'll meet you guys over at the Charlian hamlet and we'll watch whatever cutscene's about to come up. So, I hope to see you guys all in the next one. Check the description for my social while you're at it.